Welcome to the Honeymoon Mindset Podcast, discussing topics to give you tips and tools so you can choose to live your relationship with a honeymoon mindset. Here are your honeymoon mindset experts, James and Beth. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Honeymoon Mindset. I am James. So glad you are here with us today. So, when we're recording this, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. And besides doing the chocolates, the flowers, the typical roses and typical date night, and all the hub of what society says Valentine's Day is all about, I'm going to tell you to skip it. Not do it. Unless, of course, your partner really likes that and enjoys that kind of stuff. If that's their love language, gifts, then yeah, you sort of have to do it. But even there, you can do it different. Besides buying that big piece of jewelry or that thing, find something that she really likes or wants, or something that she desires, and then you buy that instead. Something that she can use or need. Then she can look at it and use it all along. But this year, I want to ask you, do you know how to build a stronger relationship? We've done episodes on the trophy wife. You know, you get the perfect person, or the trophy syndrome, I should say. You get the perfect partner, and then you just go on in life. They're that trophy on the shelf. We've talked about that. We've talked about the roommate syndrome, too, where life just gets you. You go on in life, and you're just going along, you're just living with each other. You feel like roommates. You don't have time to see each other. You're working opposite shifts. Kids are in the mix of things. It's just life. So you feel more like roommates versus partners in a relationship. But how do you build a stronger relationship? Here's 4 tips, 4 things you can do or need to do to build a stronger relationship. It's stuff that Beth and I do all the time. Yes, sometimes we lack on it. Sometimes we stink or suck at it. But that's just life too. You just fix it, adjust, acknowledge it, and then you move on. The first thing I think is the biggest one is communication. You got to talk. You got to talk to each other about stuff. Not just, oh, how's your day? Fine. Well, what are you going to do tonight? What's dinner plans? No, it's sitting down talking. It's that intentional time. It's building that trust, being open, honest, vulnerability. When you build that honesty, or when you're honest and vulnerable, you build that deep-rooted connection, communication. You're developing that soulmate relationship stronger than it can ever be, possibly. It's going to be there no matter what comes up. Yes, it's going to get tarnished at times. When things get rough, we've had the last couple of weeks where it's been a nightmare for us. Just a downright hell. We've been at each other's throats, Beth and I. We've been pushing each other's buttons unintentionally. And sometimes just the situation has gotten the better of us. But this deep-rooted connection, you know you can still go back. You can talk about things. You can apologize, fix things, and move on. And not worry about, okay, is this the beginning of the end? Or am I in the doghouse forever? Or no. When you have that strong, deep-rooted connection, you know your partner's going to be there no matter what. You can be open and honest. You're willing to look at both sides objectively. That's what that communication does. Now, I understand if you have kids, work, life, business, working opposite shifts, it's hard to have that communication. How else can you write a note? Put a little love note in their lunchbox or their lunch. Or send them a text. Send them a dirty text once in a while too. So that way you're still communicating. You love them. You're there. You're thinking of them. You want them. You need them. You cherish them. That's what all that stuff is doing. It's that communication. It's being open and honest. Now, if that's not your thing, then you got to make time for it. And that's number 2. You got to have time together so you can have this communication. Intentional time. turn things off. You send the kids away. If you have family or friends in the area, ask them to take the kids for a couple hours. You got to have that intentional time to be together, to help each other, to do something nice for each other. It doesn't matter. When you have that intentional time, you're making that your partner important. You're telling your partner that there's nothing else in this world that I want than to be with you and to enjoy you, enjoy your company. That helps build a stronger relationship. Now, when you're also doing intentional time, most people also think, oh, we'll just have date night. Yeah, you still have to have date nights. You go for a nice romantic dinner. But when you're at those dinners, what usually happens? You talk about the day, you talk about crisis, you talk about things coming up, you talk about the kids. And if you're newlyweds, you talk about that. If you're new parents, your kids are become the life of the conversation. But you got to break that. The other thing I'm going to say is change up date night. Make it different. Instead of going out to dinner, go to a hotel room for a couple hours. Have fun. Go to a park or and have a picnic. Date night just doesn't have to be that traditional societal norm of dinner, movie, we go home. Yeah, you might have sex or not or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. But yes, you still need to have those date nights too. You gotta change it up. You gotta change your date night up. Maybe instead of doing Friday or Saturday night, you do Monday night or Tuesday night. Or you both take a couple hours off during the day and you both go window shopping. Or you both do whatever. That's what I'm talking about, date night or date time. The other thing is you can do hobbies. Oh, I don't like his hobby. Still take an interest in it. You may not like it. You may not care for it. If your partner is an outdoorsman or outdoors person or likes mechanical and likes working on motors and stuff, go out there and help them. But yet you like to read, window shop, but they don't. Well, you need to do that for your partner as well. Two things. You get to learn who they are, what excites them. You get to help them and encourage them. You get to see that glow on their face when something succeeds or goes right. And you get to be there when things fail. The other thing is when you don't know anything about it, you get to play devil's advocate and help them solve the problem. So you're there to be a solution as well. So when you take each other's hobbies in mind and heart, you're showing the other person that you care, you love them, they're important to you, their hobbies and interests are important to you well, even though you don't care about them or like them. That's the importance of taking each other's. But you also need to have hobbies to do together. What do you guys like doing together? Those special moments, those unique things, whether it be gardening, camping, fishing, traveling. You guys got to do that stuff together too. That's your special, unique time together. So you can do those together to help build your relationship. You're getting away from the stressors and the pressures of life. That's never ending. It's never going to go away. But when you have those hobbies, it gets you out of there. It gives you time to connect and bond and make those bonders even stronger. The other way you can also build a stronger relationship is right around the house. Help each other out with the chores. There's no rule besides society and norms and culture that says women are supposed to wash clothes, dishes, pick up the house. No, you both live there. You both own the house. You both own the dishes. You both eat there. So both of you do the dishes together. Fold laundry together. Wash clothes together. Pick up the house together. Make it a game. Oh, if I beat this, make it like strip poker. Let's see who can clean this room the fastest or do this pile the fastest. And then you make it a game out of it. You have fun. You're connecting. You're building. You're doing stuff together to help build a bigger, stronger relationship that's not going to get tarnished when things get rough and tough. Thirdly, you need to make a stronger you. What do I mean by that? You need to focus on yourself as too. It's not selfish. We've done an episode on this too. You need to make yourself stronger. No, you're not being selfish. You need to look at you. Who are you? Who are you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, mentally? And you need to keep growing those. We all change in time and life. As things happen, we learn new things. Sometimes for the job or hobby, we need to learn new things, a way of doing things. Or if something changes, we need to learn. Or if you've been out of a hobby for a while, things have changed. So you got to learn a new way of doing things. Or something gets discontinued. Okay, what's new? So you got to go on the hunt, a prowl. Same thing with who you are mentally. You want to keep changing who you are. Society is always changing. Politically, societally, it's changing. The norms are changing. So what are the norms? I drive school bus for a living. And things have changed when I see these kids get on the bus from when I went to high school, in college, and from when I raised my kids. It's like, holy moly. What? Okay, what's this? What's that? Here, I thought I knew what I was, and actually I figure out how dumb I really am. So you got to keep yourself mentally sharp. Keep looking at yourself, who you are as a person, making sure you're living to your true core values. So when you're happy, you can make your partner happy as well. And then when you're happy, if they're struggling, you can help make them happy the way they need to be. You can come alongside them, help cheer them, help them grow as an individual as well. And then your relationship is naturally going to become stronger. I know I've said this a lot of times. When Beth and I started working on ourselves, we both naturally felt like we were getting stronger and closer together. When we're working on us, when I was working on me, dealing with stuff, dealing with my issues from the past, trying to figure out who I am, I became a stronger person. And I just gravitated towards Beth naturally, automatically, without even thinking it or realizing. It's like, I've never been more attracted to you ever. And I'm still that attracted to her, and if not more. She's the cat's meow to me. I don't want anything else. That's where it goes. When you work on you, you get stronger. Stay true to your values, your core roots, who you are as an individual. You get to question why you do stuff the way it is and doesn't make sense. That's just you being true into who you really are. Finally, the fourth thing is intimacy. You got to keep your life together with your partner intimate. Now we've done an episode on the two types of intimacy. There's physical and there's the emotional. And you have to have both. Both are required. Everybody's going to say, as soon as I say intimacy, you think of physical. Sex. Yeah, you got to have sex. You got to have quickies. Those random hookups. But you got to have more than that. This communication, doing things together, working on who you are. That helps builds the emotional intimacy between you and your partner. You need to have that emotional intimacy so you can connect even more on the physical. So even though you might be just doing quickies or the quick hookups here and there, because that's all life presents opportunities for, or you're so busy because you have kids, jobs, whatever, responsibilities, things that you agree to. But you can still meet those needs physically. And it's still amazing sex because you have that emotional bond with that person. They're not just a friend or a partner with benefits. They're a friend with a reason and a why. And there's nobody else on earth that you want it with. Trust me, there's nobody else I want to have sex with than Beth. Because of that emotional intimacy that we've built and that we have in each other. Yes, that emotional intimacy does get tarnished. It gets hurt. But it's always going to be there. Like I said before, that's where you go back to the communication. You look at stuff. You fix things. You start doing stuff together, spending time. You look at you. Is there something in me? You make your self stronger, which helps the emotional intimacy. And the physical intimacy. I hear you. Well, wait a minute. My partner has a very low sex drive. Oh, my partner's so freaking horny. It's unbelievable. That's okay. That's where your communication, you'll figure out a compromise. Now remember, compromise isn't 50-50, split down the middle. No. Compromise is, what are you comfortable with? Like I've said before, I have a very high sex drive. Beth has a low sex drive. So where's our compromise? It changes from week to week, month to month, day to day. Yeah, she'll offer me sex at night, and I'm like, no, I just want to cuddle. That's all I need. And then there's times like, no, I'm okay. But she does it because she knows I have a high sex drive. I say no, or I just want this. No, that's all I really do need. But I'm also not always asking from her, because if we do that, then it feels like, okay, it's just an action. She's just doing it, trying to make me happy, and she doesn't want it. Yes, that comes up. More than enough. But we talk about it and deal with it. Just like if I'm always asking for sex or always making comments, which I try to tone down, I'm not the greatest at it, my sexual innuendos, because then it starts to make Beth feel like she's inadequate. She's not enough. She can't live up to my standards or my demands. So it's like, out of love and respect for my wife, and because of that communication, the time together, and the strong mental health that we have, the stronger us, we can work on that and find the middle. Find, okay, here's where it is physically. Here it is emotionally. So those are the 4 things that you need on how to build a stronger relationship. First is communication. You got to communicate. And then when there is problems, you're able to communicate, work it out, forgive each other, and move on. Time together. Making that time intentional. Making that time purposeful. Whether it be a weird date that you're doing, day date, morning date, date night, doesn't matter. Even if you have kids, you can still have a fun, romantic date with them. You're working on who you are as an individual. When you're working on you, you're going to naturally gravitate towards your partner. You're going to find out things about your partner because your eyes will be opened. You'll be able to understand who you are, which naturally rolls into the intimacy. When you have all 4 of these, your intimacy is going to grow. You're going to be gravitate towards the other partner no matter what. And you're going to desire and long for them emotionally and physically. So, again, the 4 things you need to build a stronger relationship: communication, time together, making yourself stronger, and the intimacy, both emotionally and physically. And like I've said before, emotionally is almost more important than physical. That's how you build a stronger relationship. And that's how you get a honeymoon mindset that sparks the passion in you and your relationship. Thank you.